10. A number 10 from Tennessee kissed a blueberry-beaked budgie, and after that he laid in bed while 10 blueberries grew on his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right arm up for the one pod, left arm up for the other pod, both arms up for the whole. Let's go! 0 plus 10 is 10.
And now, straight out of Silvis, Illinois, the Circle Jerks themselves, Jeg Scott and Sippy Gold.
I don't know why it does that.
All right, guys, welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
We're back with a brand new episode 10.
10. We finally made it.
We did make it. I know there
exciting.
was doubters, but we made it. And we have a wonderful guest today, Donnie Knight. Donnie Knight, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Thank you.
Definitely. Welcome to the show, Sonner.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about a few things today, guys. We got that free tire wash. You guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, man.
Like and share away. Just trying to do something nice giveaway, and get you guys involved. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
We got some tips and tricks today. A couple commercials coming your way.
Yeah, that's a new one.
New one. Beer race.
Excited about this.
Yeah, we'll throw that out there, see what you guys think.
BEER race.
Beer race. Or some people like to call driver prep.
That's definitely in my box.
That's in my box. Hot shoe.
Oh, that's my fave.
All right. And we got a new hot challenge.
I'm scared.
It's not looking good. The chips look a lot better. This is not good. So, and we are going to talk about some racing events coming up,
Yeah, I'm heading out of town.
right?
Yep.
And mostly we're going to talk to Donnie Knight.
That's what I think we're excited to do here. So.
All right, let's roll kind of into it. We're going to let this fire up. We got Donnie Knight on the show here today. A lot of people have not heard of Donnie Knight,
Nope.
but you need to.
Now you will.
Yeah, that's why we're bringing him to you. Okay? So, Donnie, welcome. You prepared for what's going on here today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to ask you some questions here. Let's talk about your first race car. What was your first car?
Yeah, that's a good one.
My first RC car?
Yes.
Yep.
My first one was probably really a cheap one from like Toys R Us, like a Tyco,
That's
right?
what mine was. That's
Right.
what mine was. The Bandit.
Yeah.
Had the Bandit, man.
But I would say my first legit race car was an Associated. It was called a Stealth. It was a
Associated Stealth.
two-wheel drive buggy.
I think I remember that car.
Yeah.
It was right about the time they kind of just started coming out with the carbon fiber chassis.
Mm-hmm.
The
Nice.
real first race car.
Funny story about that car, though, is I actually lost that car not long after I had it.
You lost it?
Yeah.
Like, just forgot it somewhere, or did it get crushed by something, or? what do you
Yeah,
mean?
well, I kind of thought I'd be cocky one day. Where I lived at, my house had a big front window, like a big pane glass window. And we had a long driveway, and I lived on Route 6 in Coal Valley. Well, there's a gas station across the road, And I used to drive my RC car while I stood inside and drove it down the driveway, cross Route 6, and would mess with people like when they were pumping gas. Like I would run my car all around their car and stuff, and they'd be looking for me, of course.
That's great.
And I'm rolling laughing. And I used to, come flying back across Route 6 and into my driveway. And I always used to like race cars in the gravel down Route 6 with my RC car. But one day I thought I was going to be cocky and I wasn't going to check traffic and see if it was clear on the way back. And I paid the price for it.
Man.
And it got ran over by a dump truck, to say the least.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to take the walk of shame and walk out and pick up my speed control and anything like that was left.
All
But
the pieces.
that car was gone.
Oh,
The karma train caught
Yeah.
up.
to the RC
Yep.
god she goes.
Yeah.
That's right. I learned in a hurry, don't be cocky.
Oh.
Don't be cocky.
Oh, no.
I've had one run over too. I was practicing in a parking lot like at midnight.
Yep.
Some older lady come home from probably the bar or whatever, and it's dark. Ran it over. It was I was crying.
Yep, I know the feeling.
A helpless feeling.
The walk of shame, man, down my driveway to go,
Parts. Go pick up parts.
and like the dumb truck driver,
Hope
he
to pick
didn't.
up something left.
Yeah, he didn't even feel it. He didn't even know he ran it over.
No, he wouldn't have.
It was
No
gone.
way.
Oh, no. That was his first
Good
RC
way to start
car.
this, man.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was
great
my-
story.
That was my first real RC car.
So
Okay.
I know I said when he asked me that, I started with the Radio Shack cars and that. So when you say real RC car, do you mean the same thing I said? Because I think you even kind of questioned me. I said, well, it was my first real RC car was a Grasshopper because you couldn't work on the other cars, so it made me feel like it was real, because I was
Correct.
working on it.
I would say I consider it my first real RC car because I had to build it. I had to put
Yeah,
it
Because
together.
it was a
Yeah.
kit.
There
Right.
you
It
go.
was a kit.
Because
Okay.
that was
Same.
my thing, like with my first one, right? My first Tyco. I got it like one year for Christmas, and then I tore it all apart because I wanted to know how it worked and everything.
I
So
wanna know how it
I
worked,
tore it all
yeah.
apart and I put it back together. And then I had a friend who was actually into RC car racing, and that's how I got introduced to the track at the time. And
So
I
you,
was
so you started
all in.
off-road at the time right there?
Yes, off-road was the first thing I ever ran. Two-wheel drive buggy. Yeah,
How old were you when you were doing this?
probably 12 years old.
See, you had unfair advantage here.
Man,
That's why.
all these guys
Yeah.
we have on these shows, and they start so early.
See,
I'm
you-
so
Unfair
lucky.
advantage, man.
So it was down in the building where Rockstar is now,
It was
right?
upstairs,
It was
wasn't it?
upstairs,
It was
and
upstairs.
it was two tracks.
They gave
Okay.
away ribbons, didn't they?
Yep, yep.
Nice.
They had their own little hobby shop in the corner there,
Right?
and it was Tony's Hobby and Key down there.
Yeah.
That's- made money off you boys,
yeah.
didn't
Oh
they?
yeah, dude, that was the first real hobby shop I had ever been in.
Okay, and that was when you had to there was no online.
No,
You had
no,
to
no, no.
order everything through these guys, right?
Yes,
Man.
yep.
This
You
is,
had to.
This is pre-dial-up, bud.
Catalog
yes,
days.
Yep, yep,
Yeah. I
yep.
want this thing here in this magazine. right
Like the
here.
biggest thing was right the Tower Hobby catalog.
Oh, it was
Oh,
the
that
Once
was-
that catalog came out,
Waiting
you
by the
look through it.
mailbox, huh?
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
no doubt.
I want that. Yep.
Oh man, he knew he'd just probably order 6 of them, huh?
Yep. Yep.
That's what they do at the hobby store now.
Yep.
One guy comes in there and they know
I remember,
better order some more.
you used to go down to Tony's and I would look through batteries, trying to find good batteries, because they were nickel metal hydrides.
Yeah.
We didn't have the batteries we got now.
No, you had to solder your packs together.
Oh man, it
Make
was
your
a lot
own
of work.
packs.
Your motor, there was a lot of work in the motor.
Yeah.
Brushes, comms, springs.
All those guys. There
Lot
was
of
a
work.
lot of work involved in that.
That's why I got out of it.
I think
back
a lot
then.
of
I
the new
remember.
people don't really understand how easy you got it with the motor technology. And
Yeah.
even then, I don't know
Yeah.
how you guys are, but I clean my motors out. I
Yes.
use that electro wash and I spray them out. So
Yep, for sure.
I'm good. I have to keep all those clean.
Yep,
So,
I'm the same way.
but those guys had to go through a lot more. There was motor break-ins. There was guys drilling and machining and
No joke. I used to get a new motor, right? Brushes, everything I want. Put like some Dean's banana lube in there on the brushes. Hook it to a battery. drop it in a cup of water.
Yeah,
So
distilled
it
water,
would,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So it would break the brushes in and everything like that. I mean, dude, we did some crazy things.
Some
you
guys
know?
were using like 7-Up and
Yes.
other stuff,
Yep,
and
yep.
like Sprite or
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like there's some crazy concoctions. out
That's
there.
right.
I agree with you though that the new guys don't understand all the hard work that guys did put back in the day to get the technology to where it is now.
That's where we are now.
Yeah, so
You know?
it's pretty cool.
I
I'll
would
tell you
agree.
what. I mean, a lot of those guys still miss that about that. You know, it's
Not
a lot-
me.
They like the work aspect. But I
I'm
think the
cold.
chassis
That's my drive.
dynamics is a lot more adjustable than it's ever been. So
Yeah.
I feel like if you need a challenge, you can approach that now instead of just all your work being invested in your motor. Chassis is huge.
Right.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah, we never used to have all the adjustments we have now.
No.
It was, we made our own things, created our own things.
Yeah, you whatever ID you could pop up, so you put it on it.
Yeah.
Try it, didn't work. Well, you probably have 20 bad things and that one thing that worked.
Yep.
So, you got started at a young age doing off-road. What made you approach the whole oval scene?
Well, 'cause at the age of 13, I got involved in go-kart racing.
All right, flat track or what kind of go-kart racing?
I got involved in basically any kind of go-kart racing that was around here. I ran asphalt oval, I ran asphalt road course, I ran dirt oval, I ran dirt flat tracks.
Any
I
kind
ran
of wheel time you could get.
Anything I could get. Once my dad introduced me into go-kart racing, it was game on. It was game on.
I like
Sounds
that.
like fun.
Yeah.
So what made you? When was your first oval kind of? What got you into oval? What got Donnie Knight into oval?
You know, I always grew up as a kid, I guess, watching NASCAR
Okay.
Yeah.
with my dad,
All
right?
right.
Like, when I was a little kid, Davey Allison was my favorite driver.
Oh man, he was so cool to watch.
20.
So
28.
yeah, and my dad was from Alabama, so kind of from the South, and he was an
Alabama
Alabama
gang.
boy. Yeah, so
Liked it.
I don't know, but it was just fun. It was close racing, like, you know, it was different than off-road. I mean, off-road you get your points and your times where it's close racing, but I know oval racing's better side by side, good racing.
The whole time.
Right, right.
You know, you're always racing somebody.
Yep.
You know, I off road you can kind of get checked out, and you're not really racing anybody. You
Yeah.
know, and on roads the same way sometimes. So, I think with oval, that's probably the thing that really keeps us engaged. Maybe is to how close and tight knit all the racing is.
Yep.
So keep going where you're going with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you got your first oval kind of deal.
Yeah, well, my first oval kind of deal wasn't even really an oval car. It was an off-road car that I turned into an oval car.
All right, okay.
We're
Gold pan or what?
No, it was after that. I did
Okay.
have an old RC10 Gold Pan or whatnot for off-road, but it was, you know, old two-wheel drive off-road buggies like Associated B3s and stuff like that.
All right.
We had modified bodies. We made our own bodies and kind of started our own deal. Had a little track down there in Silvis, you know,
Okay.
Creative Accents. And I mean, even before that, though, there were tracks around that we just kind of made our own thing. And guys around, you know, here in the Quad Cities
Started racing.
started racing. And
You got involved.
yeah, it just kind of took off from there.
Okay. So how long you figure you've been doing dirt oval now, Donnie?
Dirt Oval?
Yeah.
Well, I've done it on and off, and I guess right now you would say really I'm just a part-time kind of guy, but
We're all part time.
Well, it's because you got a family. I mean,
Yeah, man.
it's understandable for sure.
yeah, I've been racing dirt ovals, I don't know, in some form or fashion for, I don't know, a better part of my life since I was probably 12 years old, 13 years old.
So he's invested, folks.
Yeah, it seems like even if I want to step away from it and get away from it, I can't. And I thank Mike for that because, of course, he doesn't let me get away from it either.
Yeah, he's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. So you got started racing dirt oval, so you went down to the track, seen what the guys were doing. You said, I got to get involved,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So you just started racing local? Did you ever venture out? How did all the whole local scene go back then?
Well, really, I guess the whole local scene was, with Rich and Bill and all them guys, they were going and traveling and doing stuff like that. And I mean, eventually, yeah, we got to the point to where we were doing that. But for the longest time, I just really raced around home,
Stayed local.
Yeah, with my RC car racing, I traveled quite a bit racing go-karts, but
So that was kind of your time to settle down,
yeah,
have fun.
yep, yep,
Okay. Our old man Rich, you still racing him.
yep,
You're racing
Oh,
Mike
man.
Murphy back then.
yep,
That's not fair.
yep. That's what makes Mike who he is. He's put in the time. He's been there for a long time.
Been around for
Right.
a little while now.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
And he's been hanging with some good guys there for a long bit.
Yep.
I mean, they all
Like,
brought him in.
Not kidding.
I mean, for me, obviously, I'm pretty good friends with Mike, so I knew, like, when he went to the Chili Bowl that I didn't see him doing anything different than what he did,
It's gonna be a handful.
I know a lot of people were like, who's this guy? And of course, we're like, yeah, that's the guy we race on a weekly basis.
Right. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's
Welcome to
man.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he
yes,
is.
exactly.
There he goes.
Yeah. I knew he was good like the first time I ever met him, because of course I met him at the RC track as well. That's how
All
I
right.
met Mike.
That's how you met
Was that
Mike.
down there in Silvis then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Used to be, our little track actually used to be pretty much right next door to his race shop.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that works out.
Yeah.
It's too bad we didn't get a piece of that, because it
I
seems
know.
like there's a lot of good stuff happening down at that
There-
track.
this
It was
sounds
fun.
like-
It was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what got you really enriched and enthralled in with oval racing. Was that when you got your first purpose-built oval car?
Yeah, actually, I think my first real purpose oval built race car was probably the very first Rocket, really, that ever came out.
First Rocket.
And
nice.
I mean, honestly, I had cars before that were probably purpose built oval cars, but one that wasn't a total creation of my own or something would
No
have been in the Rocket.
hodgepodge
Right,
kinda deal.
right. I got
Okay.
parts from this, so I'll just build this. And
So,
sometimes that's fun.
so when you think about how it was back then, you think about how it is now. Would there be any comparisons as far as how you enjoy it now versus how you enjoyed it then? Or they
No.
both had their own place.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would have to say. They each had their own place for sure.
Cool.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So, you feel like we got more competition now? Is the competition closer now, or was it closer back then? Because
yeah.
there's different cars. You had
Right,
different battery
right.
technology, different motor
Yeah.
technology.
No, I would say everything's definitely tightened up more, for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
Back in those days, you could make a mistake and kind of catch back up, and to where nowadays, really, if you make a mistake, then it's hard to catch back up. But
Yeah, you're done for if you do that.
right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think anymore, I mean, you make a mistake, you're fighting for second place at that point.
Yeah,
doesn't
I
take
mean,
much.
And if the second place don't make a mistake, well, guess what? You're fighting for third. So,
Right.
It's downward spiral from that point. It's whoever can make less mistakes. And you're right. I think everybody's within less than a tenth most of the time.
right. I would say, yep,
That's pretty close.
Yep.
yep.
When you can separate 20 cars by half a second, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, right.
I've been saying that a lot lately. It's about me missing the tube just that little bit. It just takes one hit of that tube to push your car out to the outside, and you're going to lose 2 to 3 spots here easily.
Oh, easily.
It's like, oh man, come on.
And I think it's at the higher echelon places in the country, right? I think we have a hotbed here, but there's places in Texas, Big Bills.
Definitely.
Or Wild Bills, I mean. Is that what
Wild
it's called?
Bills.
Wild Bills.
Yep.
They got some incredible talent there. We just seen there at Spring Creek, all those guys in Oklahoma. You got Travis Young, right?
Yeah.
And then you got his son. Dude, they're pretty fast, so they're no slouches themselves. But
Yep.
you know, I think we're in that higher echelon in the country. I'm not gonna say hey we're the very best or anything like that, but I do say that if we're gonna show up, we're gonna be contenders, and there's other guys in the Midwest that are there as well. I think people on the East Coast are really starting to pick it up. I could see tracks being built more often out on the West Coast now in California. So, but I do feel blessed with how close everybody is here, especially running, you know, how many cars in that class normally on average for late models, sprints, and
We're
30 cars.
Yeah, 20 to 30 easy.
Right.
You know, so
And I mean, we've talked about this before. I've always thought we have one of the best groups around as far as like, you know, the country, as far as like good caliber level of drivers. And I mean, there are even guys that aren't running RC cars right now that that should be running, that are good enough to still be at the top. And they're just not running, got other things going on. So
yeah, like
Jerry.
yeah,
Man, we miss you,
yeah,
Jerry.
I mean,
do miss Jerry.
two, I mean, Greg Durbin right off the top of my head, Eric
That's a huge
Barnes.
one.
I mean,
Barnes,
Those,
yeah.
those guys are normally so
There's-
busy with their race program with real race cars.
Right,
But
right.
when they come play in the winter,
they understand.
you
That's
better
right.
hold on. They're fast. You know, those guys that. How many guys are like that in the country though?
Right.
You know,
That's what I'm saying. We got,
there's a lot of sleeping giants that just
Yep.
don't participate.
Yeah, like you said, Rocky's training somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, you know?
We got a
Mr.
bunch of
T
good
is out
guys.
there training for Rocky somewhere. You
Yep.
know it.
that's right.
You know, you got people like Chris Shearburn that hasn't really been racing in a while. I mean, that guy was an animal.
Mm.
Jay Landholt,
Yep.
he was an animal, right?
Yep.
So you got some guys that aren't involved in the Illinois scene really too much anymore. That they used to be a huge factor, but I think there's people who have stepped up into those positions. You know, we've talked about Mike, we've talked about Alex Fanning.
Yep.
There's other guys though that just do good things for the RC community, aren't just fast.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Right.
And so that's where like I feel like Donnie comes into play for me. Is not only is Donnie gonna be there every night, he's gonna race you clean, right? He's
Oh,
always
yeah.
informative. He's always trying to help somebody, and you're always smiling. So
Yep.
I want to thank you for that, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hey, that's what it's about. I mean, I would rather help somebody and see them be successful really than what I really do myself.
And
You know.
just being fast.
Right,
Right.
right.
Or being one of the only fast guys.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
I feel you do a good job, man.
Yep.
You do a good job. You're one of the fast guys, but you're clean. There's etiquettes that are seen that hopefully other people pay attention to. You
Yeah.
hope, you know.
Right.
It's
Yeah, that's-
hard, but I see you as one of the people who keeps their composure, and
Well-
it's in a positive a manner that I see, anyways.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I think driver's etiquette for me is a big deal. You know, I mean, that's for me. It's always been that way. I mean,
How do you want to be remembered?
yeah. I mean, you know,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure.
That's great.
How do you want to be remembered?
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be remembered for being fast, but if you're just fast and an asshole, well,
Right.
I mean, that's cool,
Right.
right?
Yep. Yep.
But you know, that's why we always praise Mike. I think because not only is he fast, he's just so damn nice. It's hard
Yeah.
not to like him.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
I'm always willing to help anybody I can.
Yes.
Like if
get him faster, help him
you
out,
know,
point him in
yeah.
the right direction. Don't
Es-
just send him off in the dark.
especially if they come to me, you know, sometimes I feel like I might want to say something to someone about something, but it's one of those things where you got to kind of pick your battles.
It's true. It takes courage to come talk to somebody.
Yep. And I understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean that's something I've definitely noticed, and
Yep.
you're no slouch, Donnie, out on the racetrack, dude. You totally understand chassis dynamics. I mean, there's things that you're over there trying that other people aren't trying, dude. You know.
I
Pushing the
appreciate
limits.
that.
So
Yep.
do you get that from real race car experience? Do you feel like you try to apply a lot of that you've learned from real race car experience?
I think there's some stuff from real race car experience that you can use, you know. but a real race car and an RC car, they are different.
Correct.
So some stuff, yes, you can use, some stuff, no.
Okay.
I think just experience, period, is the thing. I mean, I've ran any kind of RC car you could have. I've raced RC carpet oval. I've raced two-wheel drive off-road, four-wheel drive off-road, 8-scale off-road, 8-scale nitro, like
Wow.
two-wheel drive oval, four-wheel drive oval, sprint cars, late models. I mean,
Boats.
yeah, I got boats, helicopters, planes,
Like,
Wow.
anything, you know.
thumbs and fingers are
Amazing.
One thing I've always been, I guess, a busy person. I'm a very active person. My dad always told me, damn it, I wish you'd just pick one thing and do it. I'm like, well, that gets boring, though. I want to do something else.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No,
Man.
not at all.
I always have at least 2 hobbies, I'd say.
Yeah.
At least 2.
2 hobbies: golf and RC cars.
There you
You
go.
know, camping and RC cars would be probably my 2, I guess. If camping's a
Camping's fun.
hobby, but
Camping's not a hobby; it's a necessity.
I got too many to list.
oh man, I've been thinking about getting into planes.
Yeah.
I've been looking lately. I'm getting close.
Planes,
Why not?
kamikazes.
After that challenge we're putting up, maybe that's how I'll be flying.
I
There
don't
you
know,
go.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you think things have changed, Donnie, since when you first started Dirt Oval? Is there anything you think should be brought back?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, things have changed a lot. Like we said, I mean, with the motor technology and batteries and everything like that, can't really think of anything I would say brought back.
Okay.
I think we're going the right way as far as technology-wise, but
How do you feel about tires?
I like the fact we have a spec tire. I really do. Just because tires are everything. And I was reminded of that at off-road, right? Went out to play with my e-buggy and, car, wasn't 100%, but it just reminded me how important tires are, and I like the fact that we got 1 or 2 choices and that's it. Otherwise, yeah, you can spend a fortune on tires,
A lot of money on tires.
and I really can't afford to do that. I make my stuff as low budget as possible.
I'm trying.
Right with
For
you.
me.
Right with you, Donnie.
Yep. Single dad, 2 kids.
Yep.
I need every advantage I can get.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I started breaking down my wheels now,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
that's great.
Yep.
That works fantastic.
It does.
All right. So something you touched base on before. It says, you said it's more important to have good races than wins.
Yeah.
You
I
wanna
would
touch
agree.
base on that?
I would agree, at least for me anyways. I remember more of the people I raced with, during that race, more than just, what race I won or where it was at or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't, I guess, important to me. It was more important to have fun, a good, hard, clean side-by-side race with the
Right.
people I was racing with.
Having fun.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I myself even forget that.
Yep.
Everybody's fighting for one spot.
There's a lot of us that want it too.
There's only one spot. That's what happens when you got a pack of wolves going in there. How do you kind of feel about? So did you? I don't know. You probably don't know what's going on, but some topic that I'm gonna touch base on. You're gonna get your opinion here, Donnie. Is they announced just yesterday, Chili Bowl, new rules for tires, and there's that there's some positives and there's some negatives that come with it. There's no rebars. They got rid of the rebar. That's gone. So how does that affect us moving forward for the year, right? because how long? I mean, there's so many tracks out there that dictate their rules based upon Chili Bowl.
Right.
And, you know, for like classes we love, was sprint car and like late model, well, those are going to be on the Pro Line Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's how I think it's same. That's the same look I had too.
I mean, okay. This show's all about honesty. You know I'm going to give it to you. So this is what I think. I think the tire will work good if they let the track go and it becomes abrasive. I think the tire would function well. I don't think it will function well in loose dirt unless you have a really tight race car. And then, like, a lot, it's gonna, I don't know. It's definitely a level playing field. So it's like raining in a football
Sure.
game, I guess. You know, everybody's going to be on the same tire.
Can always fall back to that.
No more
comment,
bitching
but
about it.
Still,
You know? And I've always said, just pick a tire and we'll run it, right? But how does this really affect the national rules? You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that, Donnie? What do you like that idea? Do you want to go out there running the Hoosiers, or do you want to have a choice?
Well, I think you should at least, in my opinion anyways, be able to have a choice. Now, I like the fact that we have a spec tire,
Correct.
but I think you should at least be able to have 2 or maybe possibly 3 different choices.
Right. Okay.
Just simply because I would say I know as a racer that a track goes through changes, and at certain points in time, certain tires are better than others.
Yeah, I would
Right.
agree.
Yep.
So to be
agree.
able to
Switch
have that
tires.
option, at least, you know, and not have to look through 50 different kinds of tires, know that I only have 2 or
3.
3 to choose from.
Right.
I like that. I think as far as locking it down on one tire, if the Chili Bowl wants to do that, I think whatever, that's the Chili Bowl race, but I don't think other tracks should be determined off of the Chili Bowl race.
I just want one good tire that works everywhere.
Right. Right.
Right.
And I would have to say, for me so far, it's every time I bolt rebars on my car, I'm better than if I put Hoosiers on. I mean, maybe I could, you know, obviously tune my car to my tires, but
That's not a stab either.
Yeah, no.
That's the-
No.
I don't want
No.
anybody thinking this is a stab here. You know,
Right.
This is what everybody's talking about, but being real about.
right.
You know.
I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's the complete opposite direction of where we're going right
Yes, yes, that's what I thought.
I think
too.
as
Yeah.
far as look, they're super awesome, and I think on a higher bite surface they work well.
now. Yeah.
I think they do, but they have a place.
Right.
And I'm with you. I see how, you know, three different tire manufacturers, and that keeps it what it is. I mean, if that's what it was, I'd be okay with that, as well as I would be just a tire that was one and worked everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, this changes the game for you, Jags.
Right.
This changes it.
Well, of course, I'm going to sit there and fight for what I'm running on. So, you know, AKA had 2 compounds, soft, super soft. So the other tires have multiple compounds. So if they would say, okay, D or Proline have to pick 2 compounds to match, you know, AKA's 2 compounds, okay, there you go. So that way you don't have to buy 6 different compounds of that one tire to come here. They make that a rule. Hey, now you have 3 choices. They should be close on compounds. It's only 2, you know, per manufacturer, so you have the choice to pick. And you know, I'm gonna fight for this because I don't like this decision. I think the pins are a better option for what we want to do as loose dirt racers. If you want high bite, I think the tires are probably good, but
I
You
agree
know?
with you. And just from experience there, I remember how abrasive it got.
mm-hmm.
And people were going through a whole set of rebars. And so the gripe there is, well, I'm burning up a set of tires.
Right.
Well, the Pro Line's going to hold up a lot better.
I agree.
It's going to.
Yeah, I should.
And I think that's probably what they're going more after. As well as they went with DE for the wingless and the SE mod classes.
SE mod, I think. Yep.
And the J Concept tires for the street stock class.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how they're getting other people involved, but
Nothing wrong with that.
why no love for the rebar?
Yeah.
That's been their tire for how long? You know, and you're just gonna dump on them now.
Guess who's not gonna have a hard time getting rebars?
Yeah, right.
This guy.
We're going out with a bang.
Yeah. I'm gonna wind up having a whole tote of tires I can't use anymore soon. That's what's gonna happen.
I know. Yeah, I already thought about that too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is the change. So
But it's evolution, right?
Yep.
I really like how the D's got a really good look. They look really neat. Their wheels and you know what I mean? They got a really realistic look.
well, and their commitment to dirt oval is awesome too.
They got a huge
You know,
commitment to dirt oval.
they
And
work
everybody
hard.
else is following suit on that. J Concepts is getting involved. Proline's getting, Proline's been involved for how long now?
A bit.
A bit, you
Yeah.
know. So, I mean, you got bigger manufacturers always been involved, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I question what's the results. Like at most of your oval races now, I mean, what are guys on, right? They're on rebars.
when
Right.
it's an open tire race, just here locally, that I can speak from, is generally we wind up on rebars.
Right.
Now, on the indoor classes, when it becomes a little bit more high bite, do I wind up on an Electron,
Right.
a clay, or something like that? Yeah, I will. But not in all classes. Late
Right.
model, it's always on rebars. It's always the best tire for the car.
Right.
Now, that's just what we
Seems to
got
be,
set
yeah.
up. Am I gonna say that I can't get a different tire to work for the car? No, not at all.
Yeah, we will.
No.
It's gonna take some time.
It's just a really good
We've had
tire
years on
across the
these tires.
board.
Right.
You know, where I think the DE is pretty good in loose dirt, right? And it even handles well in the higher bite. They got that kind of lockdown with the groove, non-grooves kind of thing. But you know, the Pro line needs a little bit more spacing between the blocks, I think, in order for it to be a more effective tire in the looser dirt, because it seems to struggle with a little bit of lube.
Yeah. I would agree.
Have you noticed that?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I like the tire. I don't want to say I don't like the tire because I love the carcass. I love the carcass of tire because the carcass is actually the same as a positron.
Right. Correct.
So it's the same carcass.
Yeah, and that's really the big thing too about the rebar. I mean, it's not about the tread pattern, it's about the carcass of the tire.
And how
That's-
that expansion, the growth of that
Right.
tire, and right, it's just a good performing tire, and I would love for them to make a tire that was different and better
Show me I was going to say show me something that works better.
all across the board.
Better.
right. Right.
But
Oh.
Not
there-
just something that's flooded the market
Right.
and
Right.
made it happen.
has AKA always been good to us? No, they have not always been good
No.
to us. Have they made huge strides to help us out? Yeah. So have other
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
You know, they seen a weakness, and they attack the gate.
Well, that's what I feel like. Okay, I feel like when AKA messed up 2 years ago at the Chili
The
Bowl,
demand.
right?
Yeah.
They couldn't perform, and everybody jumps on that really quick. I mean, it's like fresh meat in the water,
Yeah.
for sharks, and I saw that happen, and I think that's what these other companies, they saw an opportunity, and I don't blame them for taking a strike at it.
And we need it to grow.
Right. But there should have been a little more time involved, maybe, in that. And AKA did add another line to they actually put a rebar machine in now.
Yep.
So that, they are trying to do a little bit better. So I just think everybody just instantly got on that hate trail. And they just needed to maybe pump the brakes and realize what you had instead of before, what I mean,
Yeah.
before causing all this deal.
We're very demanding people. As
We are.
just
We're
as a
racers.
human race anymore,
Right.
we're just very demanding.
Yeah.
And you got the internet at your fingers. Everything's on point anymore. Everything's fast, right? They want it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nobody wants to wait anymore.
No, that's true.
That makes it a little bit more difficult, I think. But I do like the approach that we do have a lot more options. But I hope not every track really just starts jumping on the wagon. I hope there's some extensive testing at their local track, wherever it may be, for them to come up with the best tire.
Right.
Now, is that going to affect me? Yeah, probably. Is it going to affect the guys who travel? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have different sets of tires. I just want to it's getting expensive.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Right.
I was sitting down with the wife and I kind of like roughly laid out the cost of what this change is
Yeah.
gonna make happen, and I'm like, I'm 600-700 deep just to get everything converted over to start ready to go on the road or anything like that. And then you have to pay from there on out, you know. I was like, it just blew my mind.
It's not getting cheaper anymore.
It's a big jump in our deal here.
Yeah.
It's going to make a big wave, I think.
Maybe we're going to have to start testing out tires, Donnie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's looking like I'm going to have to put my spare late model together and start testing tires.
That's something I always like to do. I always like to mess with tires.
Yeah, put a different car together, and that's what that job is. Because, you know what, I want to put some more work into the DE tires.
Oh, we're gonna
Because
have
they
to.
seem to be a lot more of a popular choice here soon. Or here recently when I'm watching some of the races, like the Spring Creek race, it was, you know, pretty big DE track, and Willard's gone to DE, and, you know, everybody's supporting these guys who are trying to support us.
Inside line went to DE too.
Yep, inside line went to DE, solely DE now.
Yep. So I see the movement happening. So,
No rebars, huh?
well, why you got to exclude them? That's all I'm saying is why can't you just at least, hey,
Yeah,
you're
include 'em.
offering, yeah, you're offering these two companies tires. Why not this guy too?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Well,
Yeah, because I got plenty of rebars in my cabinet. that I could use
And
for
we like
that.
them. So
And wheels.
right. Right. Things already mounted right around.
I don't know.
well, what do you think about doing our first commercial?
Oh, want to do a commercial?
Yeah, we got a couple today, so
Commercial.
run one off real quick.
This is Corbin Dallas with the. All right, we'll do a little commercial, and we'll be right back.
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm practicing.
What are you practicing for over there?
You know I've been practicing to go down to Inside Line Speedway in Robinsonville, Mississippi.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me more.
You know they're presenting the Delta Bowl. That's on January 17th. That's going to be a practice day. Doors open at 8 a.m. and practice ends at 8 p.m.
Man, that sounds like a really good time.
Whole day of it.
Really?
You can come back the next day, January 18th, and the doors open at 6:30 a.m. Drivers meeting at 8:30 a.m. and racing at 9 a.m.
Whoa. Do they have food down there?
We think so and hope so. We'll say that.
How's their facilities?
Facilities are great. They just put in some new ones. They got plenty of pit tables, plenty of chairs for you provided. And this is an inside facility, so the track's always good. And there is one little thing. You got to have DE tires only. So you might want to check their rules. Make sure that you got everything set up for this. And the classes are going to be SC Mod, Sprint, Open Late Model, Crate Late Model, 13.5 Blinky in them, Street Stock, 13.5 Blinky, Novice Open Tire Slash, which is based off of, or anything similar to it, Midwest Mod, 10.5 Blinky.
All right. That's a
So-
lot of classes.
There you go.
Got something for everybody there.
That's why I've been practicing. So it's January 17th, January 18th. Get on down to the Delta Bowl at Inside Line Speedway. And it don't matter how you get there, but just get there.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. Go ahead and check them out. Inside Line
Yep.
down there in Robinsonville, Mississippi.
Yep. On Facebook today. Check out all the rules and everything and get on down there. Check them out. Cody will take care of you.
Yeah, go ahead and get yourself a hotel. They got a Waffle House right up front.
Delicious. No more, what was the bar? Oh, what was the place we loved? Soul
it's out
Food.
But it's out of
Yeah,
business.
no more
now.
soul food for
Yeah.
anybody. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you guys missed out. You didn't
Yeah.
try that place. But on a serious note, they got really good hospitality down there.
Sure do.
They have a really nice track. The pit area is really nice. It's really advanced, and
They always have fresh air on tap for you to blow your car off there, too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Forgot about that.
yeah.
Awesome.
They're just really hospitable people, so they really help everybody out. You know, if you didn't bring something, they'll help you out.
Yep. Sure.
If you need anything, contact Cody.
Yeah.
definitely point you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna roll into, what do you want to do next?
Well, let's talk about the tire wash thing real quick.
Okay.
And all I can say about it is, wow, thank you everybody for the responses.
It's been super positive.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know, we just thought of this as a random idea, and we have our own tire wash program.
Yeah.
And that was bought by us a while back, and I thought, hey, what a better way, man? We'll give it away to somebody who can enjoy it, and possibly help us a little bit. And
we'll love it and pet it and call it George.
That's right, man. So I mean, it just you guys are blowing us out of the water with the responses, and I know originally I think I put on there that we were going to announce the winner on show 13.
Yeah. Yeah, you did say 13.
That's not going to happen.
What?
No, we're going to shorten it. There's so many people already. I think we're over 130 entries, and most of those guys have double entries for sharing the site for us, or the art page.
All right.
So I think, to be honest with you, I think we should just go ahead and I'll leave it open for one more week, and then on the next show we'll announce the winner.
Okay.
Because we have a ton of people already in on this, so I didn't know we were gonna get such a good response. I
got quite a big response, didn't we?
Yeah, that blew me away. So thanks everybody for doing that.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that.
All right. I'm gonna ask Donnie a question here. Donnie, what's your favorite track you've ever raced at?
My favorite track I've ever raced at.
Yes. What's your favorite track you've raced at?
As far as RC tracks,
Yeah, we're gonna go with RC track.
I would have to say Big Bill's was probably up there.
Man, that name keeps coming up.
That
Yes,
was
it
a great
does.
racetrack.
Not the only person to say that.
Yeah, I'd have to say that was probably my favorite RC racetrack.
Big Bills. And what did you like about it?
It's just everything that you could race all over it. You could race from top to bottom. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a little bit more high banked, right?
Yeah, the banking was pretty much perfect. It wasn't too much, but it wasn't too flat. Like, you could race on the bottom, the middle, or the top. I mean,
That sounds pretty racy.
yep, perfect racetrack.
We need more tracks like that. I
Yes,
think.
we do.
Oh.
You know what? While we're on the topic,
All right.
you got my mind going now when you said that. Is people. I want people to understand this. In order to make a banked racetrack work, it has to, I'm going to repeat myself, it has to be progressive banking. If the bottom is banked, you're not helping anything.
Nope.
No.
The whole point is to have the banking on the bottom 3 feet to 4 feet be 0 degrees.
Leave it flat. Make them get off that
Flat.
gas.
Flat. The whole objective is to move the lane up another lane, right? So guys can have a low line and a high line, right?
Yep.
And that's what we want,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, I think, there's nothing wrong with, having just a low line track, but the racing is hard. And it makes you so happy that you can move up a lane and actually race a guy and still be competitive with him, and not worry about having to
Wrecking
bump
'em.
in. Yep.
Yeah,
No.
to me, with a one-lane racetrack, you're depending more on that guy's ability to heed wade to you. If not, you kind of
I like how you said that so easily.
Yes.
have
did.
to kind of move him out of the way. I mean,
And you
But
think if people,
that's not something that I normally like to do, but
you see some favoritism on that once in a while, don't you?
sure,
Yeah.
you sure can.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it myself sometimes. All right, so Big Bills, progressive
Big
banking.
deals. Man, that place was pretty cool. I think I mentioned
Yeah.
before. I went there twice, but just the whole layout. He had outlets, because it was higher bank, so he had a nice wall. He had outlets that ran completely around the whole outside of that wall, like all the way around the track.
Yep.
And
I've never
then,
heard a negative thing about this place.
Dude,
it
he
was
had a
neat.
pit lane, right?
Yeah.
You could get off the racetrack. He had a great driver stand. It was up in the air, high enough. You know, it
you
was.
can kind of see it from the highway, can't you?
Yeah, you could.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you looked over there hard, man, the little teeny town, man.
It was like a perfect miniature Eldora almost.
yeah, I think,
Exactly what it
I
was.
think
remember
that's
riding
what
with-
Zach and
Is that
Alex
what they said they compared it to? Is
Yeah,
it
they
Eldora?
nicknamed
Yep.
it that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's cool.
I remember driving by it. It was a late night, leaving Allen's, and we were driving by, and I was with Mike, and he pointed over there. I swear, I almost seen a tear coming out of his eye.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"That's where Mills used to be."
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, it was fun. Yeah. That place
cool
was
of a
fun.
racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Some of those tracks you just can't replace. You know, Allen's, I think, is another one of those.
Yeah.
So you
Man.
just can't replace them.
There's a tear in my eye for that. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I've always enjoyed that track thoroughly.
a lot.
You know, the outlet of the place. I mean, the whole layout of the whole place. Just the hobby shop, everything
It's the
down there.
nostalgia of what it is.
Yep.
I think it's a lot of the nostalgia. It's like going to Wrigley Field. It's like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of the bigger things. It's Daytona.
Yeah.
It's the whole deal.
It's like that baseball field that
Field of Dreams, man.
You know,
Yeah.
it's right there on the edge of the cornfield. I mean, it's just like that.
And my
you know?
lovely White Sox are gonna get to play in it.
I saw that, man. That's cool.
I'm gonna try getting a ticket if it's not fucking
Man.
ridiculous.
About time the major league does something cool like that.
They
you
should
know?
be doing more stuff like that.
That's super neat. That little town's gonna boom. You know what I
well,
mean?
yeah, it'll be,
Everything's gonna be sold in that town for 1 week.
it'll be crazy. You know, something I was thinking about the other day. I was just putting a new body together, which everybody loves doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I had tendencies. Do you know what I'm talking about? I always put my body clips in the same way every time.
Yep.
Inside
Yep.
out. You know, do you have tendencies? You always do the same way every time, Donnie? It just has to be that way.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm probably pretty OCD.
Okay.
I have a certain way things are done, and I like to make sure they're done right.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm very, I guess you could say anal would be the correct word about stuff.
Yeah. Hey, but we've talked about it many times. That's what produces wins.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
car's ready to go.
you have to pay attention to details.
Well, I think a lot of the guys at this level are probably on the more OCD level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They all have that problem.
Yep. Definitely.
What's one thing you got to it's a must do every time, Donnie?
I must do every time for what?
Every time when you go racing, just something you do. It could be something that you load up. It could be just something like as simple as body clips or whatever it may be. But if you don't do it that way, it's going to bother you.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like you. I always put my body clips in like the same way. I always set my stuff up the same way.
Like on your table.
On my table,
right?
like, yeah, I know where everything's at, where it's supposed to be. My toolbox is laid out a certain way.
Like you get all set up, right?
Yep, yep.
And it just
Everything's
has to be that way.
just got to have its place.
You feel all out of sorts, don't
Well,
you?
it's just like in NHRA drag racing. You know, you watch those guys, they pull in there. They got all the guys in position that take off the heads. They put them right here. They do this. It's mechanical.
Yeah.
You know, you're ready to go, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
You got your own tendencies.
I'm a little more sloppier than some people, but I'm trying, man. I'm
Well,
trying.
everybody has something they
Yeah.
gotta do a certain way every time they go out. They know that though, right? And it
Right.
could be something really simple, but there's just some people that gotta do certain things.
For me,
This
I
is-
guess one of my biggest pet peeves
Rituals,
is
almost.
my car has to roll well. You know what I mean? Like if there's anything dragging my car down, like if I feel like I have a bad bearing somewhere, I might as well not even put it out on the racetrack.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
So this roll into my thing, my maintenance schedule.
Let's
Yeah,
do
do it
it.
up.
What do you think?
Yeah,
All right. Well,
because I've been waiting for this. I don't know if you know this or not. I haven't even heard about your program.
I don't even know if it is one, but it was weird that it worked out the other day that I went through this myself. and it did come out to the perfect number of 15. So I thought it was cool.
All right.
And as a a guy that's somewhat new to this, and I'm starting to take it a lot more serious, I thought it was a good idea to put this out for people that are in the same shoes as me. Maybe they don't know what the little things to check. So I got my backup music. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1. Oh. Oh. Wait. No, that was the wrong music.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. That's too good. I had to put that out there. Anyways. Okay, so basically, it's you start with the shocks, or I do, and you basically drain them and you refill them and then let them sit over the side. You clean them, of course, before you refill them and everything. Make sure everything's good. Refill them. I don't have the cool pump thing that you have. I don't know what to call that without going too far into that, but
Yeah, we don't want to be too, raunchy about it.
Right.
It's a pump.
Let's just call it a vacuum.
It's a pump.
Vacuum. Thank you, sir.
Vacuum pump.
So I have to do it the cheaper way. So I let the shocks sit over the side there, put them in a little stand, and then basically after that, I check all the A-arms, all your pins, because basically you're going to be free now because all the shocks are disconnected. After that, hey man, you pull the tranny out. Get back in there. Your shocks are gone. A-arms are free. Pull the transmission out. I don't do anything with it right after that. I go right ahead to checking my CVDs. Making sure that they're good and clean. Spray them out if you have to. That's something that I've never. That was new to me. That was a new move. I always let. Yeah, you've told me several times to get in there and clean that out. So it's part of the maintenance program now. Clean the rear hub bearings. Make sure they're good. The rear hubs are free. Your spacers are good back there. You got no, anything's wrong. Check everything there. And then I go into rebuilding the transmission. And I ain't giving you no tips on that. So
What?
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Oh,
That's top secret.
Dude.
Top secret.
Top secret.
So I do that, and then I reinstall it. So then, you're almost close to being done with the rear of the car. Rebuild the shocks for the rear. Go ahead and install them. Get them all nice and set where you like them. And then after that, I make sure I spin the transmission, reinstall the CVDs, make sure, and then check for a nice and smooth operation between all of that once you connect all that back together. And then you want to go ahead and give your motor a little love. That is your power plant. Before you put that back in the car, I spray it out, make sure everything's smooth, put a little oil on the bearing, maybe a little drop, just a smidgen.
Oh, dry.
Question though, what do you
Okay.
spray it out with?
Oh.
Just so they know, people listening.
Thank you, sir. I use the, is that the Electro Wash?
Electro wash?
Yep, I go for the little cheaper version from Walmart.
Okay.
We go through a lot of it. I use that to clean my bearings too, so I go through a lot of it. So it's cheaper. Good questions. Man, see?
I'm telling you.
See, that's my
Man.
detail. Sorry,
I like that.
See?
coming in.
So we go ahead and do all that. Maybe put like I said, drop of oil, put the motor back in. And here's one that a lot of people, I did for a long time, overlooked. After that, I move a little forward on the car. I get my receiver, check that bad boy, and tap all that dirt out of that thing.
Gotcha.
Man, that's got me twice now throughout this thing, and it's something small to get to, but
Killer, isn't it?
yeah, it can cause glitches, a lot of issues if it's full of dirt. So you definitely do that. Check all your wiring up to that point. Make sure everything's good and connected. And then you go ahead and check all your steering components. Start moving forward in the car. And go ahead and rebuild and front shocks and install them. And then you check your front wheel bearings. Check all the screws on the bottom of the chassis. That's another big one right after that. Because you're already at the front of the car. Make sure the front's good. And then go backwards through the car from the front to the back underneath. Check all your screws, man. Make sure they're tight. Put that blue Loctite on some of those toe blocks. Make sure they don't come out. I've had that happen a couple times. Clean and fix any problems with your body. And that's the 15-step JEGS maintenance program.
Maintenance program.
I'll sell you copies of that if you really want.
Oh. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Hey, man, like I said, we both have our niches here on the show, and I think I'm more for the beginner type of guy. And I just kind of thought it was cool I shared that. I did it the other day naturally, and when I was done, the car looked beautiful, sitting there all clean. I was like, man, that's something I got to write down for the
Feels
show.
good, don't it?
Yeah.
Looking all
Hope it helps
nasty.
somebody. Sorry about the beginning there.
Yeah, I would have to say on the tips for beginners, I think one thing that's easily overlooked is, we didn't really give any tips on trannies, but your differential in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Your differential can dramatically change the handling of your car.
Definitely.
So if you're working on your car and you're turning on shocks and doing this and that and it really doesn't help, you need to back up and look at your diff, because that can, to me, is one of the biggest factors in far as handling of your race car.
Yep, I agree fully.
Yep.
It's got me a couple times.
You got me more than once.
Yep.
'Cause
Mike had to remind me of that, as a matter of fact.
if it's not working smoothly, basically, it's binding up. So when the car
Correct.
goes in under load, it's not going to react correctly to what the car wants to do.
Yep.
It's gonna actually fight it. So it could cause many issues.
Yeah,
Turn a beautiful handling race car into a turd.
yeah, beast. Something you're fighting all the time. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man.
What else would you like to share with the maintenance, Donnie?
Me, as far as
Yeah.
me?
What do you like to
Yeah.
do for your
I
maintenance?
I know
don't-
you got a
I-
good program.
Guess Jake's pretty much covered on it. I pretty much go through the car the same way. Take care of my batteries. I'm the same way with you guys. I use the electro wash and blow out my motor, and pretty much transmission. Make sure like you said, all your A-arms, everything's free. All your camber links. And,
Always sucks when you got a bent hinge bend, doesn't it?
yep.
Man.
Yep.
It's tough to catch that too.
I like to actually take my hinge pins out and chuck them up in the Dremel and polish them. too, so
nice.
Ever
That's
since I
just
took
what-
those bent hinge pins out of that one late model, it got worse.
Yeah.
I figure I probably
sometimes they can be a
shoved those ones
blessing.
back in there. I feel like I need to find those and get them back in there.
Maybe I'm onto something
Oh,
here.
man. That's great.
Yeah, I think you
Hey.
definitely got something.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to roll into a quick commercial here, and then we'll come back with tips and tricks?
How about one more question for him real fast?
Oh, let's do
Yeah,
it.
hit
What
me
you
up.
got?
All right. So this is one of my favorites. I have to ask every guest this. I'm just a goofball, so I like to know this. Donnie, if you could be a superhero, who would it be and why?
If I could be a superhero,
Any of them.
I know who I
Any
said.
of them.
I don't know. I guess that's kind of hard for me.
I
'cause
know. Just give it a second. To
I really
breathe.
don't watch all the superhero stuff. So.
Okay. You're not even as a kid though. You don't. You, like Optimus Prime, dude. He was badass back in the day. You know.
I don't know. Maybe
What about
He-Man.
He-Man. I was just
You know,
gonna
I
say.
used to watch a lot of
He
He-Man.
has the power.
Right. I thought his sword was pretty cool. So.
Dude, he had that badass cat that
Right.
transformed.
Battle
and shit.
Cat.
Battle Cat.
Battle Cat.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, and Gray Skull's hilarious as
Right.
hell.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that would have to be my answer. I don't really watch all
Alright.
the new stuff or anything like that.
Nothing wrong with that at all,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh.
That's a classic, man.
Yeah.
Grew
He-Man.
up on that.
I said I wanted to fly.
Yep.
Anything flying. I just want to fly.
I picked the Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, there you go.
He's like, I'll just jump there.
I love it. Hulk smash.
Yeah.
See, He-Man kind of has Hulk's power.
Yeah.
He has everything else,
And a sword.
And a
And a
badass
sword. And a badass cat.
No
It's
doubt.
loaded.
Right.
That's cool, man.
I always love that question.
Good answer.
Thank you.
I always love that question. I love that. So I think you had another question that you were going to ask earlier. What color cars does he like? Or like brighter cars or darker cars?
Yeah, basically, I'm kind of thought of this question to start asking it a lot of different people if they come on the show. It's like I know I've gone through a lot of transformation in my colors on my cars. I've gone from black to blue to white to bright color blue now. So I just kind of want to know, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you really feel that that's an advantage to you on the track, or is that just something that maybe just plays mentally with us, like as racers?
I don't know that it necessarily gains me an advantage on the track, but I know I basically kind of pick my colors so I can see my car. I feel like I can see my car. I've normally always, I guess, painted my cars fluorescent orange or bright white or something fluorescent, you know. But honestly, I guess my favorite color is kind of like a lighter blue.
Nice.
But I go with the fluorescent orange because I can see it on the racetrack.
Well, you know I like the fluorescent orange, of course.
Yep.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I thought about that. You know, when I had a black car, I never had issues with seeing my car.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I think like what got me to switch out of that to get to brighter colors was something Zippy said, that people tend to recognize it more on the track.
Yep.
Like when you're racing them, you know, a black car is a little bit harder to see for anybody if they're just coming up on you fast, you know. And he's like, man, you know, you need something that's brighter where they could really remember you, you know.
Yep.
So I went right to the flow orange
Especially
myself.
when you go and travel, right? Like in even local, if your car looks similar or people who can remember it,
Yep.
they tend to know who you are. You know, so when you're saying so-and-so's on the track and, you know, move for your leader or the leader, you know what I mean? They don't know who you are or whatever it is. It makes it a lot easier, I think. So,
Right.
you know, and if you got a bright color like you do, Donnie, or like you like to do, Jags, you know, you see it one time out there and they know who it is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's easier to pick up a brighter color too, obviously, like out of your peripheral vision.
Right.
You know, so
Definitely.
you can tell if someone's coming or whatnot. So.
Well, I know when we practiced in the dark the other night, it was amazing how I could see your white. All I could see is your white, and I could see my orange.
Yep.
But we could see them. I mean, it was dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we were doing the best racing we ever did, because we were going off of memory of where to let off.
Off a feel.
You know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
It was pretty fun. It was a
Awesome.
rowdy good time.
That was actually also what made me think about starting to ask that question.
Okay.
You know, when we could see our cars like that in the dark. I'm like, man, that's cool.
It worked.
Yeah.
All right, we'll roll into a little quick commercial, and then we'll come back, and we'll have a few more questions, and then we'll start wrapping it up with some tracks and shout-outs and some challenges.
Some reminders. Oh, boy. We still have to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
About the tips and tricks, y'all.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're coming back to, folks.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right, so enjoy.
Saturday! Thunder Road Hobbies presents the Oval Summer Series.
All right, get on down to the 2019 Summer Series at Thunder Road Hobbies. 5 races, 1 throwout. $20 for your first entry, $10 for your second, $5 for your third. Kids under 16 with an adult entry is $10. 1 kit giveaway drawing for those who make 4 out of the 5 races, and you must attend the finals to be eligible. You pick the kit.
The Oval Summer Series at Thunder Road Hobbies. Don't be afraid of a challenge. Be there!
I always love that commercial.
Yes, it's a good one.
It's a good commercial. You guys go ahead and get down to Thunder Road. Got another race coming up August 17th.
August 17th.
Practice starts at 2.
And racing at 4.
All right. Got a hobby store. Got facilities.
Everything you need.
Wonderful RAN program is Heads Up Racing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of good fun and a lot of competition.
All
I
you
mean,
need.
In
In
all
every
you
class.
can get. And a lot of clean racing, too. So get on down to Thunder Road. If you haven't tried it out, try it once. You might like it.
Yep. Check them out on Facebook today, and then get on all the rules, and coming on out, man.
Yep.
Have a good time.
All right. I think we're going to roll into one of the more popular parts of the show.
Oh, yeah, man. Can you start to feel it? It's getting you in the mood for Zippy Gone's track tricks and track tricks, y'all.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another one. Something I want to talk about today was it's important to have a nice glue tip.
Yeah.
Good glue tip, for your glue when you're gluing up tires.
Just the
'cause-
tip?
Well, I've seen different things and different approaches to how people like to glue up tires, and I think the raw dog approach, which is just the bottle with no applicator, and
Right.
just shoving it in there, is probably not the approach, huh, buddy?
Yeah, he's just walked away and shaked his head many times watching me trying to glue up my tires. So
It's important to invest in some good tips there, guys, and you'll notice your tire gluing capabilities will increase and improve.
yep.
So check out just different kinds of glue tips that you can find, and all the different companies make them.
Wow, nice.
So, and then I also kind of wanted to touch base on your little wire holder that you shared the other day.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty neat, and
Thank you.
I think we should share that on the whole tips and tricks. You want to kind of share how you did that?
Yeah, so I mean, I was getting ready to put on some thicker wires on my ESC to motor, and a little, customization there, and the ultimate thing is to keep things as clean as you can and not get any kind of wear on the wire to where something shorts out or anything like that. And I just thought back to my old school days with building 350 Chevys for my pickup trucks, and you'll buy the old Edelbrock spark plug wires, they'd be the fancy yellow, or no, yellow was Excel. I think Edelbrock was blue back then.
Yeah.
So then you buy the little holder, to make them look fancy, and
Wire looms.
yeah, they just snapped over the wire, and so I went through like 4 different versions of this thing. I tried to be super technical with my Dremel and get all crazy with it, and I just ended up getting as simple as this real thin piece of Lexan. You take your body reamer, as long as the water, the wires are disconnected, obviously, so you just put the hole through, make it nice and snug so it keeps them right there. I mean, and then I put an orange sticker on it to make it even cooler. So
Make it even cooler, because
Yeah.
stickers are cool.
I mean, it's and I put it up there, because could I put Jeg's name on that and probably like try to market that? Sure, I think because it's cool, because it would work for everybody, and I think it's something cool. But I'm not like that, man. I mean, I'm just a guy that's got no budget, and there you go. It makes your car look professional, and you can put your colors any color you want on it. So there you go.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Donnie, you want to share any kind of track tips or tricks you might have?
No, guess I'm kind of like you guys. I keep my wires short and tidy and neat. I always took my wires and took like one of my wrench's tools and wrapped it around it.
Twist them up there.
Kind of make it look like a phone cord or whatever.
Yeah, nice and
That's
clean.
how I do mine. I like my stuff nice and clean.
Do you ever shorten any wires?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I've done that.
Yep.
I got invested in that here recently,
Yep.
and shortened some leads on my ESCs and stuff like that. I know that they're just not leaving the cars. you
Right.
know.
Right.
And it looks nice that way, nice and clean.
Yep.
So all of us OCD guys really appreciate that kind of stuff.
Hey, man, see, that's cool.
So awesome tips. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man, it looks like you were tuned in to Zippy Guns, Track Tricks and Track Tricks, y'all.
All right, I want to give a little shout out to Shark RC Bodies. I recently purchased a few little items from them here recently, and I just want to let you guys know that it was a wonderful experience. And if you get a chance, check them out. Shark RC Bodies.
Oh, very cool stuff. They look really like real as it gets.
Yeah.
For if I did ever get a mod again, that's probably what I would do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I want to talk about. You had something there.
So, Donnie, I was like wondering about this. So, what is your take on? Like, we see this a lot in our, what we do here. You got a lot of guys that will buy a car, and they give it. They might have bought it because said guy won said race, and they think, man, that's a hot car, and they buy it. They only give it like what, maybe a couple of races, maybe a couple of weeks or something. It's back on the internet, So I've tried to say this the whole time. So what do you? I mean, my thoughts on it are: you have to put your time in with your car.
Oh, for sure. I would agree.
So,
Yeah, it's not something that you can expect to just step into and do well right away. I mean, that happens, I guess, for some people, but that's very limited. But,
right.
you have to give a car time. You have to understand the car, know how to work with the car to get it to do what you need it to do. So that takes time and effort.
A lot of it, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah, it's not just, I'm going to throw it down one weekend and have this thing dialed and go out and just whip people. No,
Right.
it takes time, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost 5 years into my car right now,
Yeah.
and it's best it's ever been.
See, that's
Yeah.
how I am now. Like, I get invested in a car. Like, like,
Right.
I've had that car. I hate to step away from something that's, new or whatever. If it's not better than what I got for me, that helps me, It might help you, but
We're all different.
yeah, that's right,
We're all so different.
So I guess that's another thing. You got to kind of know what you're looking for too, or,
Right. Okay. Well, hopefully everybody listens to that, because I mean, seriously, you have to give a car a chance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're all different drivers.
Yep.
You can't expect to have a car do exactly what happened to this guy the night before in a race.
I mean, I can tell you this much. It's a little known fact. Me and Mike have taken the same identical cars, set them up 100% the same, down to the fact where Mike's measured everything on this car. His car was exactly the same as mine, but yet my car drove completely different than his did. Every car is different. Not every car is the same. I don't care if they're the same cars or not.
Not two cars alike, it
No.
doesn't seem like.
Right.
No. I mean, you can do things that help each other, but it depends on what you're looking for.
But the
Or-
overall package is
Yes,
normally
no.
never the same.
That's something that's a fine tune. I mean, just like you said with your car, you've had it for 5 years now. Look how long it's taken you to get it there.
Yes, sir. I mean,
So-
fully. I've almost put it in the garbage twice.
It's commitment. It's a marriage. It's commitment. It's a marriage,
I
Yes,
saved
sir.
it. I saved it.
You sure did. Yes, you did.
Saved
Yep.
it.
I mean, it almost got the Ric Flair into the garbage can. You know what?
Macho Man Randy Savage. Smashing.
That's great, man. Good view on that. I
Yeah.
agree with you fully. Everybody, listen to that. Give it a shot, and listen to people. We've talked about that many times. Listen to people that give you advice. Seek out the help and listen to them. Don't just discard it and think that that don't make sense. No, listen to what they're doing.
Yeah, and don't think someone's judging you either. Like if someone
Yes.
comes up and tells you something like you say, I agree with you. Really think about it. Listen. What they're telling you is probably going to make sense, and
Some
It'll-
people
it'll
have
help
different
you.
philosophies
sure.
Big
Yep.
time.
on
That's true.
how cars, chassis dynamics and stuff like we talked about,
Yep.
and
Right.
how the car is supposed to work.
Yep, I agree fully.
So
Good job. All right, awesome. So we had one other thing. We actually had a while back. We were trying to get people to get in some opinions and some questions for us, and we had Sean Richards send in a question about drop in points. So in what he was kind of referencing it to was real car racing, and he's like, hey, in real car racing that doesn't happen. You have to show up and perform and win the races, or do what you got to do. And he just kind of wanted to know his why, what are our opinions on that? Like, why do we have that? And I'm going to start it by saying, with me, I'm a family man. I think just like the two of us are, or all three of us, and it's hard to make everything. If,
it's not realistic.
Yep.
yeah.
Maybe if I was single or if I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good way to get there.
Right.
It's nice to be able to have those drops to say, I have that in my back pocket. What if you don't feel good?
There's a lot of things that could cause you not to be able to make a race.
Traveling, how
know.
far some of these people travel,
Right.
to race a point series race or whatever it may be. It's nice to be able to have a throw out.
I would have to agree with that.
Me,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I like
100%.
having I like showing up to all of them and just throwing out my bad week if I can. But it's nice knowing that you can not show up and still be okay.
Yep. Still be included. Yep.
Yes.
Well, I mean, not to try to, always boast on our local situation here, but this is my first time ever being part of a points series where you only have to be here, once a month.
That made it so nice because it still allowed you to travel and
man.
still do your own thing with your family, and you're really only locked down to once a month.
And they still give you a throwout.
They still give you a throw.
Again, a lot of stuff happens in life. Geez. Around here, we've had flooding. I mean, the weather's ridiculous. What do you got? Sick people. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen where you can't make it. So, Sean, we appreciate your question, and I think we all agree that having throwouts in RC is a cool thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
We agree.
I would agree.
it's necessary.
So
I would
thanks,
say.
man. Appreciate that. Other than that, I guess I want to throw out to remind everybody about our email. Start reminding everybody about our Facebook page, email, stuff like that. And we are on YouTube now.
YouTube.
We're really making some crazy big steps here lately.
How do you find it on YouTube?
Same thing as everything else. It's the RC Circle Jerks.
The.
Yep. You gotta put the in front, man. It's
Yeah.
the baby.
The RC Circle Jerks.
No copycat here. So at the
It is on other stuff though.
the email's the same. Oh boy.
Threw that out
Yeah,
there.
we don't know what's going on with that. I
Yeah,
think
I don't know, man. Get off the nutsack. That's what I'll say.
we have I don't know. We're just trying to do something here.
We're awful inspiring, is what I would say.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways,
Email is the same, guys. It's RC Circle Jerks, but the difference is it's at gmail.com. So it's same thing with Facebook or YouTube, sorry, and Facebook too. Everything's the RC Circle Jerks, except for our emails, at gmail.com. So you have any questions, any concerns, anything you want us to talk about, send it in. And again, with the email, or you can just personally, PM us on Facebook individually. If you don't want anybody hearing it, whatever, you got it, we're open for anything, guys. I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
So I just want to remind everybody of that. And, one more thing. So back, how many episodes was that ago when I did the Alaskan Shit Kit Challenge?
yeah, and I said Utah. We got nothing.
Yeah, it was still, man, it was crickets.
I don't
all
think there's
day.
anything in either place.
So
So
I don't want to forget about this kind of thing. So I listened to that, I remembered, and we didn't get nothing. So I'm coming back with a new one.
what?
Yeah, I mean, I realize, this is just a small prize, guys, but it's all about having fun. And so basically what I think I've come up with, and we've talked about it a smidgen here, it's going to have to be I want to see pictures of you having a dinner date with your race car. All right, guys? Or girls, hey, I'm we're not, girls or guys here.
See your sensual side for your race cars.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you right now, best photo is going to win this. And I mean, you guys really have to step it up. And Donnie's already, he's applying already over here. I love it. He brought his car to the podcast tonight, guys, because we could check it out. It's so
So you can
beautiful.
see the orange, my colors.
Yeah,
So
man.
beautiful. It's a beautiful car.
That should be a new tradition. You have to bring your race car.
Gotta bring your car.
I think so.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Put a picture of your car on there.
this is legit. I think this could be I think this could be a lot of fun, guys. I mean, or girls, again, guys and girls. Let's have fun with this. I'm gonna put basically a sample picture here. I'm gonna go home tonight and have a sweet dinner with my race car, and I'll take a few photos and let everybody see what an example of what we're kind of thinking. The direction we're heading with that.
Should be a couple's photo.
It could be that too.
I mean, get nasty with it. What do they call those, burlesque? What are they?
God.
I don't care how you get with it.
And we're very open-minded.
Make
so
it funny though,
yes.
please.
The most creative will win. So that's another big announcement here. We're just rolling them out here tonight. So that was that. Got that out of the way.
Okay. I got a beer race to talk about. We have a hot challenge to do.
Hot challenge.
And I got one more question for Donnie. So, how do we want to approach this? You want to do the hot challenge?
Yes. Let's.
He says yes.
Yeah, because I want these people to feel our pain that we're doing this for ridiculous reasons.
Or just really our own ridiculous reasons?
So, we've
lay
had
it
the
out.
finest Burger King chicken nuggets on the market. We got them delivered
That you
straight
can
to us.
Get.
I still want to know what
fresh.
part of the chicken is the nugget.
All of it.
You know,
So just pieces of chicken are called the nuggets?
It's all smashed together,
It's all
dude.
smashed. It's all just compost.
Yeah, it's all just.
Okay, so
all
why
of
is it like every other year each place says that's 100% chicken now?
Right. And it was
What
the
was
year
it
before.
before?
Well, yeah.
What happened here?
What are you telling me?
All right,
Dog food.
so we were gonna go for this, huh? All right. Oh my God, I'm nervous.
Nervous.
I'm very nervous.
It's gonna be hot.
Are you just going to
prepare for?
a little bit, or you going to pour a little bit on there? You going to get after it, or what?
I think we just have to get after it.
I think you gotta get after it. Yeah.
Let's just stripe this bitch down one nugget. Sorry. I'm nervous. See, I'm nervous. I started cussing. My bad. This is not right for human consumption.
Am I doing your nugget?
Okay. Oh, that's too much.
That's too much.
Oh my God.
I'm doing mine.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys understand this, but this is a chili extract. It's not even a hot sauce.
That's good, right?
It's from the depths of, it's called Devil's Blood. It's 800,000 Scoville.
You want to read the reviews on
Oh
this?
yeah,
thing?
before we eat it. Yes. 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 Thank you for reminding me of that.
Okay, before that. Yeah.
Oh, this is too funny.
Yeah, so we got that going for us there. That's just soaking in there.
Oh, it is too.
Oh my God.
We're not running from this one.
Yeah. So,
Let that nugget soak it up.
dude, Donnie, you'll attest to what's going on here. This is not looking good.
Okay, so our last hot challenge is pretty weak, and oh boy,
Ooh,
just
it's really
looks-
soaking in there, isn't it?
it really-
Do you see this?
The whole nugget's turning red.
Oh my God.
So anyways, so I stepped it up this time, and I read some of the reviews on this before I bought it, and we could probably do a whole podcast on the reviews from this product because they're so funny. All right, so first one says, "My dad loves anything spicy, but lo and behold, he was not prepared for the digestive destruction that was going to soon occur." I mean, and some of these I had to short up. They went into complete detail of what was happening here. All right, so the next one he says, "I now sit on the toilet with my cell phone in one hand, calling the local fire department. Sitting on a bowl of flames seems like something they could help with." He says, "All I did was lick the stopper. How was I to know that blasting hellfire out my other end was going to happen?" I mean, he just licked the cap, is what he's basically saying.
I
Yeah.
put more than a capful on there.
Yeah, you got a whole chicken nugget full,
Yeah, dude.
and it's been soaking it up.
Oh, it's just so
it's
it's
just-
marinating.
Yeah, it
dude.
is.
Oh,
So
it's
another
rough.
one, he says, "Was able to raise the Antichrist and summons demons with ease." And he goes, "Also great with chili."
Why is it so red?
Yeah, I don't know why that just keeps turning colors. All right, okay, we have two more. It says, "It's like you got pepper sprayed and tasered directly in the mouth, followed by chugging jet fuel." Okay, all right, one more. "My eyes flooded with tears and my nose ran like it was sprinting for the Boston Marathon." I mean, we're dead.
Get it on.
So if we can't talk
Get it on.
after this, Donnie might have to close the show out. So,
Yeah.
all right, bro.
Do you tap nuggets?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Alright.
Oh my god, I'm eating the whole thing in one bite.
Yeah, I think we
Just
have to
shove it
right
in.
away.
You just gotta go.
Fuck.
I'm gonna pay for this for a
Ready?
month.
Set.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Oh shit! It's already hitting. I need it.
How's that? Huh?
It's hot.
It's hot?
Okay, my eyes are already watering.
That's a hot nugget.
Okay then, that was the first one. Well, okay.
It's a very deep burn.
Oh, I don't think beer's gonna help.
You're gonna be wanting my water, aren't you? Huh?
It's kind of warm, bud.
Oh,
I really got it on there.
Has it reached peak?
Yeah, it's hot.
oh shit!
Max intensity? Or is it still going?
It's still going.
It's still going.
Still climbing. Give it a minute.
Looks like you're sweating a little bit, Jegs.
Oh, I am.
Huh?
I am.
My eyes are watering.
Why did we do this?
It was
Wanted to.
a great idea.
Yeah,
touch
I thought
my
it was a
hands.
Good idea. Yeah, don't put your fingers on your eyeballs. It's hot though. Oh boy. It's real hot.
I'm taking a fresh nugget.
How you doing, bud?
Fresh nugget.
A little extra bread. A little extra nugget help.
How was that? Is that better?
Yeah. Do
Okay.
it.
Dude, he is beet red.
Oh, the red ninja. Full
You look like a ginger right now, man.
Dude.
Oh, that's funny.
It's hot.
Better you than me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna burn tomorrow.
You want another nugget? Can you do two? Could you handle two? What do you think, Zip? Could you handle two?
I mean, I'll do it if he'll do it.
Yeah, Zip says he'll do it. What you got, Jags?
Oh,
You got two. Huh?
Eyes are watering. I don't think I can.
Oh, dude, you got two in
I
there.
don't think I can.
I don't
it's
think I
like
can.
right here.
It's a deep burn.
It's right in my tonsils.
You're making me laugh.
No problem for you, huh, Zip?
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot, but it ain't that hot.
It's hot, but it's got my eyes watering. But
Can you breathe?
yeah, I'm good.
Jags, can you breathe?
I'm not alive here, but
Trying.
It's like a. It's like a. I don't know. The heat just really stays, you know. Like, and it
Right
keeps
in your
coming
mouth.
on. It gets hotter and hotter, but it's pretty good. He's tapping. You tapping?
He's out. He's out. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's left the room.
He's gone.
I think he might throw up over here.
His mouth
His
is
mouth.
on fire. All right. Well, while Jegs is dying here, I got a question for Donnie. How do you prepare for a race day, dude?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. How do you prepare for a race day?
I actually prepare for a race day the whole week or so prior.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
You know, I like to have my ducks in a row and make sure I got everything square and ready to go.
So what's that involve?
Maintenance on the car, first off.
Okay.
First thing, tires, tire work, any tire work I got to do, any battery maintenance, stuff like that.
Radio. He's literally has his tongue on a cold
On a
Coors Light.
beer? You got your tongue on a beer?
I do.
That's funny.
That's hot. Okay, I'm good.
It's pretty hot, but it's pretty good though too.
So yeah, I would say to prepare for a race, just make sure you got everything you need, tire-wise and batteries, maintenance, everything's in check, so you don't get to the track and have to deal with a bunch of problems.
So do you bring like spare batteries for your remote, or is it a radio?
Yes, I bring spare batteries for my radio, not a remote.
Oh. All right, so you got stuff like that, spare towels,
Yep.
such like that. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you like don't wake up in the morning, have a special breakfast or anything like that?
Nope, sure don't. I don't have like a ritual or nothing.
No caffeine.
No caffeine. Caffeine's not good for me. I don't drink caffeine. That's why you always see me with a red fruit punch Gatorade. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Found out caffeine is not good for me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Very small amounts I can have only.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's how you prepare for race day. I myself
it.
like to, I don't know, I kind of have a ritual by now. You know, I kind of set all my stuff out a certain way and go down my checklist of how to pack up the car so I don't forget anything. And you know what I mean? I think everybody's the same. How many trips do you take back to the race shop and, like you forgot something?
Right. Right.
I'm normally good for 2 or 3 rechecks. So
Yep.
you doing all right over there, buddy?
Gonna survive.
I wish I would have forgot the hot sauce.
Or
Extract. It's not even fucking hot sauce. I mean, hot sauce. Sorry. I'm sorry.
too funny, dude. Oh, it's too funny.
You know, everybody has their own levels.
Jakes, you found your limit, huh, brother? Hey, you beat mine. I'll give you that. You win.
Oh, it's too funny.
Watching you makes me happy I didn't do that.
You inspired Donnie.
You did.
He's dying over here. All right, well, while Jakes is dying, I'm going to talk about something that I would, I'm just going to toss out there. I would like to do, I'm just throwing this out there, the beer race. Now, I realize there's probably not a lot of tracks that want to throw a beer race.
I'd be way better at this.
Yeah, probably. But I'm liking, you guys got to let us know. You know, I'm down to do a 12-pack challenge. Some people probably maybe just a 6-pack, but I'm thinking 120 lap race, 2 battery packs. You know, either a 6-pack or a 12-pack. It could be every 10 laps of beer or every 20 laps of beer, or as some people like to call it, driver prep.
If you only want to do a 6-pack event, if that's the vote, I'll put an
That's what
extra
I would do.
challenge in. I'll drink an extra 6-pack before we even go on the track,
Deal,
just for fun.
just for fun.
Up the ante.
Yeah. Now, this is just for fun. Not for money. Are you still dying over there?
It took me forever just to say those words.
You just like got it prep.
I had to prepare for that. I'm coming
Dude,
back.
Hey,
I'm getting better.
we should have took a better video of
He's
this.
getting his bearings back.
I'm still red.
Oh, dude.
My 5 head is still red.
That's funny.
Okay. Too funny.
Well, I'm totally in on this race. We know the recent occurrence of the banning of alcohol and stuff.
Yeah.
The tracks, and that's fine. We respect that.
Yep.
But we just want to throw our own challenge out there, and yeah. Besides this stupid hot challenge,
I'll do another one.
Dude,
Well,
that's you got it, Zip.
You want to do another
I got
one?
full confidence you can do another one.
no.
No?
I'm just coming back to life here. What we need to do is save this bottle for anybody that comes in here, and if he, I don't care. Yes, he did way better than me. Well, whatever.
There's more nuggets.
Hey,
in
you
there.
did better than me. I wasn't willing to do it. No way. No. I know my limit.
It's hot though, for real.
That's funny.
It stays in your mouth. It doesn't like.
It's a deep burn.
It doesn't go away. There is no cure.
No, it's hot. It's just hot.
So. Yeah, so we're talking. We were thinking about what, 1 beer every 10 laps.
Yeah, that was if you wanted to do the. Yeah, I mean, however you want to do it, however many laps.
You want to drink them all before we even hit the track?
No, man, I think you should have to stop and then do a beer. It's like a relay, man.
I obviously wouldn't be good at this race, but I vote for like when you do your battery change, then you should have to do a mandatory at least drink so many beers.
All right, maybe we need to pick some rules.
Yep.
I'm all on board on this, but it should be a fun end of the season kind of thing.
Yep.
Just goofing off
So we need.
on a non-race weekend, maybe.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it's just something for fun. So we need a track that wants to let this maybe happen. That would be okay with it.
That would be cool. Oh Jesus! You're all right, buddy. You're all right. You're coming back.
This is terrible.
Ice cold.
Man, Man, there's no ice cream, man. It's not helping.
Well, my beer is gone.
Okay,
You good?
I'm trying my best here. I'm glad we did this at the end instead of the beginning like I thought we were.
The hot challenge. All
My
right.
nose is starting to run.
Well, Donnie, as we're winding down here, Jags is dying.
Yep.
Do you have anything you'd like to leave with everybody on this episode 10?
I appreciate you guys having me. It's been fun. It's been a blast. I encourage people to listen. Just like to thank all you guys for having me and
Absolutely, man.
all the racers. And yeah, have fun. Don't give up. Keep your head up.
Awesome.
Good luck this weekend, Jags.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, buddy. Good
Yeah.
luck,
Yeah.
man.
And it's been a pleasure having you back, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank
Yep.
you. It's
Yeah, we
fun to be
miss you.
back.
I
We
love
miss you.
chit-chatting with you, man.
It's fun to be back.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we allowed to put the exit music on and get this done?
You ready to put the exit music on?
I'm done trying to talk. I'm trying to be part of this, but
All right. But you ready?
my chest is, I feel like it's on fire.
This is too funny. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Had an awesome time today. Episode 10. Talked about some fun things.
Yep.
Inside Line. Check them out.
Yep.
Thunder Road Hobbies.
On the road.
Check them out. Okay. Thank you, Donnie Knight.
Yeah, thank you. God bless.
Check you guys later.
Circuit jerk.